REALTOR David Locke with Locke & Key Associates at Keller Williams, and my guest today is Alan Cothran.
Hey, David. Good to see you, bud.
Alan, thanks so much for joining me. Alan is my campus minister at NewSpring, and I think we've known one another since we were in Cub Scouts.
It was third grade for sure. It goes way back.
Yes, so almost 40 years.
Yeah.
So
we're tell everybody.
I know. It tells our age. Well, Alan, I know you're from Anderson. Obviously,
Yes.
we went to school together. But tell us a little bit about how you got in ministry and how did you make your way to NewSpring?
Yeah. So grew up in Anderson. Love this town so much, and we live right across the road over there. I'm raising 3 boys here, and when Jill and I came back from Furman, we started looking around for churches, and NewSpring was fairly new at the time, and so we went over just to check things out at the college and enjoyed it. And as soon as we jumped in, it was right in the middle of this huge surge of attendance. And so that was a very exciting time. We got to see God do a lot of things during that time. And I have a long sordid story with the church that some of your viewers will know, but some will not. I went on staff at the church in 2004.
Okay.
Had been working with Palmetto Insurance, an incredible business here in town, and went on staff with the church, and right at that time had a cancer diagnosis, became dependent upon prescription painkillers. The church had to release me, 100% the right decision by the church. I gave them no option. And then family had a really rough time for a few years, but in 2011, was fortunate enough for God just to kind of pick me up and put me out of the pit. And I got clean at that time. It was right before our 3rd child was born.
Wow.
And so we kind of put the pieces back together for 4 years, and then at 4.5 years clean, the church called, and I took a job as a writer there, and have had, I think, 8 different titles since then in the last 10 years, and became the campus pastor about 3 years ago.
So you've been there that long.
So really am just, God has been so faithful to my family and to me, and we've been able to plug into some organizations here in town where our story of redemption that I had very little to do with, but was the recipient of the grace of. We've been able to plug into some things here that have seen that story get used for good. And that's how we do what we do in recovery. We try to give it away to other people, and that is the number one way that we help ourselves, is by trying to give it away. So super thankful to the church, the story of grace that they demonstrated to me, and even letting me, I mean, when they called, I was like shocked. Because I had assumed I had burned all those bridges. But just the grace they gave me to welcome me back in and trust me with this has been incredible.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about what NewSpring does. I mean, I know it's a church.
Yeah.
I've gone there for many, many years.
Yeah.
But tell us, what does NewSpring do in the community? And I know we're not just here in Anderson. How many campuses do we have now across the state?
So we have 13 campuses across the state, Clemson, Powersville, Greenville, Spartanburg here in the upstate. And then we've got Columbia, Northeast Columbia, Florence, Myrtle, Charleston, Bluffton. I'm sure I left somebody out and they'll call me about it. But
I was trying
Greenwood,
to list them.
I didn't say Greenwood, but 13 campuses across the state. And what that really gives us the opportunity to do is a unique perspective of how we can plug into some of the solutions for problems that span beyond our city and across the state. And so we've really taken on specific initiatives in fostering and adoption, crisis pregnancy, and the sanctity of life, and in recovery and the world of recovery. So those 3 areas, we all have some level of partnership with different organizations in town. As a church, we made the decision in 2016 to give 10% of whatever comes through the doors away. We don't believe that's necessarily like a biblical principle. We wouldn't put that on any other church. But at a time where we realized we had been fairly closed-handed with the resource God put in our hand, we just felt a calling to step into a level of generosity as a church that we believe the Bible teaches us individually. And so we give back to those organizations. The Anderson campus has 13 partners here in Anderson Pregnancy Care, Lot Project, Hope Missions, the Bridge Center, Shalom. I could name them all, but just and that, if I'm being honest, that's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, God met me in places outside of the church and walked me back into faith in the church, and the opportunities that we have to work with organizations like that and the people that they serve, it's fun, and you see really miraculous stuff.
Oh,
so, yeah.
God moves.
Yeah.
Well, I know we went to school together, and
Yep.
you even went to Furman
Yep.
with my wife. But why did you decide to stay in Anderson? You could have chosen to go anywhere. Why
Yeah.
did you choose to stay in Anderson?
So it's funny. I was a business economics major at Furman, and the choices for sort of that crew were Chicago, Boston, New York. But I was very much in love. And so Jill and I started dating shortly after she got to Furman. She was a year behind me. And candidly, the idea of having to fly to see her was I just wasn't going to do it. And so got a great job offer with an amazing company here in town. And, the community of it, I don't know that I appreciated at the time what Anderson has to offer. But really, I think it was just God's sovereignty in bringing us to a town that, we have just grown to love it. It has been so good for us. It has been so good for my boys.
Yes.
I have 3 teenage sons who I tell people, this might be too much, but I tell people I made my best friends. And
That's
so,
wonderful.
They're at the age where when you turn 18, 15, you're a young man, you're becoming independent. And seeing them grow up here with a small town feel that has lots to offer, it's just been a gift. So we love the community. We're seeing something really special in the religious community where churches are coming together, working together. That's unusual, and we're so thankful to have just a hand in that, to watch churches seek the mission of the gospel together rather than competing with one another.
Yeah, we're all on the same team.
So,
They tend to forget that sometimes, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think we forget it sometimes too, and so I wouldn't put it on just them. But it's been a gift to get to watch that and see my boys grow up in that culture where we have such close connections with people within our church and then with other churches as well. So we love Anderson. I'm also really excited. We're looking at colleges right now. I'm excited about what's going on at Anderson University.
My alma mater.
My oldest wants to stretch his legs a little bit, so I don't know if he'll end up there or not, but it's one of his top choices, and I'm just so impressed with what Dr. Whitaker, Ryan Neal, Bert have going on over
wonderful
there.
place.
It really is.
It's a
It's an impressive place. So, whatever you would want, Anderson seems to have. So.
Well, and that kind of answers the question, but if you had to tell somebody who was moving here from, say, California or Oregon, or anywhere, what's the number one thing that you would tell them about Anderson that makes it great, or that they should know?
Yeah, it's funny you use that example because at the church we're seeing a lot of that from California and the Northeast, or the Northwest, I'm sorry. The Northeast too to some degree. But one, welcome to the weather. It's way better, even though the last few days, not so much.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a hospitality in a small, mid-sized southern town that is just a bit different. And I don't know that Anderson is completely unique in that, but I think we are a part of something that is special in that. And so as you look here, say hey y'all to folks and watch what happens from there, because it doesn't seem to take that much to develop some really but some really important relationships around you. And so we have deep friendships with people. We're deeply involved in our church and would be, whether I was on staff there or not, deeply involved in the activities of our boys. And I think 8 boys spent the night at our house last night. And, what day is it? This morning was early. It's Wednesday. So on a Tuesday evening when school was canceled, our house just opened up, and we love that. And we have been the recipient of people opening their home up like that too. Charlie lived with another family basically over the football season because they were right by the stadium, and that's where they went.
Awesome.
So
that's awesome.
That level of hospitality is just, it's a gift. And you talk to people in other places around the country, and it doesn't seem as if it's necessarily the same there. And so I think we have something special here.
I really agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, Alan, thanks for
Yes,
being my guest today.
Honored to be here. It's good to get to catch up with you for a little bit.
Of course. And again, I'm your realtor, David Locke, with Locke & Key Associates at Keller Williams.